we have got, once again, we're back here in the studio. Thank you, Steve Arner. He apologized to you off air, didn't he?
Yes, he did.
He said some naughty things about you when he was competing against you. So I want to know. So National Coach of the Year from our neighborhood, Darren Allen is here, and a national coach. I just want to make sure that everyone knows this is not just me. This is national. How does that feel?
Weird.
Weird.
It's like, first it's a process. It's through the United Soccer Coaches. So first you win the state nomination. So I received that at the senior awards banquet in Bangor, and that automatically qualifies you for Region 1, which is New England. And then I got a phone call a couple weeks ago saying, "Hey, you won New England Coach of the Year." I'm like, "Cool, that's awesome." So that automatically nominates you for national, and I'm like, "National, okay, sure, whatever." It's Maine. So only 2 other people have ever gotten National Coaches of the Year from Maine. And then, funny story, I'm sitting on the couch. It was like last Wednesday. Was it last Wednesday? I can't remember. A couple weeks ago, possibly. I'm sitting on the couch. It's 7:30 at night. I'm sitting on the couch watching TV with my wife. Phone goes off, and it's a Virginia number. And I'm like, telemarketers, man, they're really working hard. So I didn't answer. I said, if it's important, they'll leave a message.
Oh.
And they left a message. And I had just registered because I'm going to the national conference, and I registered before that because I got the New England Award, and they honor you at a breakfast out there in Anaheim, California. So I'm like, it's got to be something to do with my registration. So I called back the number. He left a message, "Call back as soon as possible, please. This is such and such from United Soccer Coaches." So I called him back, and I talked to him for about 30 seconds. He goes, "I just want to congratulate you. You just won the National Coach of the Year." And I'm like, "What?" I won't say what I said to him. This is a family show, but I was like, it's just like, and I hung up with him. I turned to look at my wife, and I said, "I think we're going to California, and I think we got breakfast and dinner out there." So we're going out for a week It's the huge national conference for soccer coaches. They have it a different city every year, so I'm being honored at our dinner with 2 other coaches. There's 3 categories. It's a large school National Coach of the Year. There's a small school Coach of the Year, which is the award I was fortunate to win. And then there's a private school Coach of the Year.
Class C, right?
Yeah.
Wow. It must be a great feeling. I just wonder the challenges of that age group pointing to one direction and lifting up all the lesser players, because it's a team.
Right.
How do you motivate them, and what do they learn from that? Maybe that's a question for you, or?
Yeah, I mean, I'd say we have some really good role models on the team. Us 3 captains, me, Sam Cochran, and then Peyton Mitchell, 3 seniors. I think we really, I like to think that we motivate the team, just by leading by example, picking people up when they're down. And I think we set a good role model of what next year's team should hopefully, strive to be like. I know we set the bar pretty high, but hopefully they can do that. There's
a lot of distractions out there to get them to be dedicated, just like you, and being a ski patrol, as dedicated as you are. Now, Mocha, I refer to you as Mocha because that's like all your friends call you Mocha.
Yeah, well,
and you let me call you that.
Please
and I want to say you're dedicated to being a ski patrol. Also, watch and win, one of the winningest. I know that you had a little story of a little ski patrol rescue or whatever you want to call it, and I know a lot of people know a little bit about it. Maybe you want to share your story.
So yeah, about 11 months ago, had a group of patrollers and myself. We were doing our our viewing of Bracket Basin. Myself and a couple of the other guys had chainsawed and done all the work out there all summer, and really wanted to see how it skied, make sure we didn't leave anything real bad to cause any problems for the skiing traffic. So, we'd done about 3 laps, and it was a really nice day. Creamy snow out there. So we were just about to wrap up, put 10-8'd, made sure that our toboggan was all set at the very top, and we're heading down Slash Fire. And the very last little cliff band there was, the boys went right, and my eye caught some fresh snow onto the left, so I skied over there. Got held up a little bit on my landing, and my leg wrapped around a fairly good-sized birch tree out there. And luckily, like I said, I was skiing with the group, and immediately as I was still sliding down the mountain, yelled to them, you know, Tanner Hall style, my leg is broke, my leg is broke. It was, not to be too graphic, but it was flopping on the ground pretty good. So it was an immediate, I knew what was going on. So we made the call immediately, got my hand on my cell phone to call my wife and let her know, put your kids away from recess, it's time to go back to the hospital again for me. And unfortunately she didn't meet me there, because as complications kept arising as far as just getting out of Brackett Basin, because I was all the way out in Slash Fire, farthest east you could be. Going over Brackett Basin without the Slash Fire bridge out there. There was some complications we had. The ambulance showed up finally 2 hours after it all happened, and it had a flat tire.
No!
And at that point, we kind of figured that my luck was running out. It was time to call the chopper and give me a private flight down to Lewiston. I spent 16 days down there, a bunch of surgeries, finally got out, and just a couple weeks ago, I got back on snow for the first time. So I beat their prediction. Well, they said it would be a full year from when I left the hospital, which was beginning of February. December 6th, I was back on snow. They were lazy turns, but at least it was packed powder. It wasn't like it is now, unfortunately. But it was an experience that I'll remember, and it was definitely uplifting for me.
And certainly we're not trying to dissuade anyone from going to Brackett Basin. Accidents do happen, but I think the important thing is you had other people with you, which is what they always recommend. Maybe outline some of the other rules or suggestions when you go over there.
Absolutely. You always got to be no less than a group of 3 when you're going out there. In case of an emergency like I had, one person stays with the injured, and if you don't have a cell phone or there's an issue, that other person is going out to get somebody at the lift shack, wherever somebody's got a radio, to call in, we need help.
Right.
Always have a cell phone on you if possible.
Charged.
Yeah, absolutely charged. A lot of people are carrying the batteries with them as well, and a lot of jackets now have that warming pocket, so you're not out having the battery get zapped. And just know your surroundings. Don't go out there if you've never been out there. Go with somebody. Ask somebody. If we had snow right now and there was access to the woods, and we have a lot of patrol out there, I'm sure a patrolman would help you out and give you some tips, or possibly even bring you out there and just to make sure you knew what you're doing.
Sure.
But always ask, and especially this week, we really just have to be smart. We can't be heroes out there. I know everybody wants to go out and have fun, push their limits like we all do. This is Sugarloaf. It's not Sunday River. Right. But with that said, we got to watch our speed this week. We cannot be aggressively skiing. We just got to enjoy what we have and be smart. And hopefully for February break, we'll be out in the woods.
Well put. Now, looking forward, you've got a lot of pressure now to be a champion once again. How are things shaping up for you?
Hey, we got a great young crew coming back. Like Morgan said, the 3 captains have really set the bar for the next season. And Morgan and Peyton and Sam have been fantastic captains. I'd like to boast a little bit, because not only do we have Morgan here, who's the Class C Player of the Year, an All New England choice, and he's an All-American as well.
Nice.
But we also, in my opinion, have the second best player in Class C, which is Peyton Mitchell. If any of you guys ever watched Ted Lasso, he's our Roy Keane. He wins everything out of the air. He distributes the ball. He just does his job. He may not have the stats, but soccer, in my opinion, is not a stat sport. There's 11 positions on the pitch. They all have their roles and responsibilities. Peyton's a holding midfielder, and he wins the ball out of the air. I think one coach college coach came to me, went to the Greeley game, and he said, "How many balls did Peyton Mitchell win out of the air?" I said, "I have no idea. We don't keep that." He goes, "I counted 42." And I was like, "That's a lot of head balls." But I mean, this group has set the bar extremely high. You know, nothing is ever the same again.
Right, right.
But to me, there's no pressure. There's not a lot of pressure on for me because it's been 52 years, and we hadn't won a state championship. Those were the pressure years.
Yeah, 17 of them, right?
Yes, those were the pressure years. Yeah, 17 of them. I won't count my playing days to that, but I think it's fine. We're going to have a young team next year, but
Yeah.
I don't think we'll be fine. We returned 95% of the defense. We only gave up 3 goals.
Yeah.
All season, including one of the goalkeepers, and we have to replace one position, and those guys back there are phenomenal. So,
Well, best of luck to you. Congratulations and
Thank you.
continued
Thanks,
success. Thank you all for joining us here
Thank
this
you.
morning and sharing your victory with us. And it is a huge victory. Thank you so much for all of you in many different ways. We appreciate it, and happy holidays to you. We'll take a break, and we'll be back with more here on the Mountain Report.